Guys, if this city doesn't scream green to you, I don't know what is screaming green to you. I mean, just look at it. 70% of the space is covered by trees, lake, and green beaches. I built this city for the design challenge, and the theme is Green City. This is a repeated theme. However, I build a brand new city every time. And if you are following this channel, this is also number 13 of the first 5,000 SimCities. The format of this channel has also been upgraded. Welcome to the next level of Build It with Ryan. Hope you enjoyed this video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And now, let's roll our new intro video. Hello world, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video of Build It with Ryan. I'm your host, Mr. Ryan. How are you doing today? And first thing first, let's take a look at the requirements. As usual, minimum population of 3,000 and 10,000 for the bonus, and then minimum of 3 landscape buildings and all buildings covered by parks. And going forward, I will speed up my videos by 2 times. And the next step that I'm gonna do, and usually it's my first step, is to build out the borders by row in my city so that I can know what I'm working with. And the second step is I am moving all these pollution service buildings to the left hand side because I will build my residential buildings on the right hand side and I will leave the left side all covered by parks, not actually by parks, by landscape, by trees, by lakes, so that the pollution is okay with the landscape, but I just don't want them to pollute my residential buildings. So as you can see right now, I am moving all these residential buildings to the right hand side, and then the good service buildings has to follow. The fire station, the police station, and the clinic has to follow. So I'm just trying to see what is the best layout for the city, for the residential buildings. I thought that to upgrade these residential buildings, I also get the event Plumbot points, but actually I'm wrong. They don't give it to me, so there's no point to over upgrade your residential buildings in your design challenge. And I always build a row around the pollution service buildings. You don't need that much space for those buildings, so it should be good enough. And because this is the requirement is all residentials need to cover by park, so I just put a little cherry blossom park around my residential buildings. And the next steps I'm doing is to lay out the lake. I kind of like want this like the number 5 on the dice. I kind of like lay down the lake like that. It doesn't have to be like really organized for the lake. If it's a little bit more random, it will actually look more natural. And then right now I am just like laying down all this forest down. So to lay down this forest is super random too. I just have like a lot of like pine forest, the big pine forest. So I lay them down first, and then I have a lot of the coconut trees. So I will take some coconut tree and lay it down, and then I also have a lot of Joshua trees. So what I'm doing here is just just lay them down to cover this entire area. I don't have that many other good trees because I love the willow trees that I get from the green valleys, and I love the frosty fjords trees over there. But unfortunately, I don't have that many, and then I don't want to spend too much of the regional simoleons to buy them. So I will just keep using whatever I have for now. And I'm absolutely loving this forest, these trees in SimCity. I think they're great. They are just a new function that come up. They are kind of like a late function that come up. And in order to buy these trees, you kind of need to have the regional simoleons. But right now, I also have the campsite. The campsite tree is not my favorite tree because they always have a camp on it. but they are cheap. They only cost like one gold key per campsite, so that can be a good filler for your SimCity if you need to build out like a great big green space, right? So right now I'm going back to my fossil field where all my factory is, and I collect some items in order to upgrade the residential buildings. And I'm going back to my capital city as well, just to take out some items. What I took out from my capital city is I took out the golden gold stadium. That is my favorite stadiums in SimCity. I'm gonna place it into the design challenge, and I also take the Cologne Doom because I want to put some history of the city. Just don't want it to be too blank, because people want to see something like big in your city, in your design, so that people can vote for you. And since the daylight come out, I just want to do a little touch up in my green space, because sometimes when it get dark, it actually is kind of like hard to see what is empty. So I kind of like put more trees in the middle so that I don't miss any empty space. And I just placed down my stadium down there, and then I don't like in that position actually, because it kind of like cut off my green space, because I want my green space to kind of like continue a little bit over to the right. So I moved my stadiums all the way to the right hand side, and then also thinking about to put a row in between, but since this mat is so small, so I don't want to waste too many space on the row. And I placed down a little bit of landscaping items there. I put down the Swan Lake. Oh, the Swan Lake is just such a great item. It's so pretty, with a little white building in the middle, and the Swan Lake, the swans circling around it. It's just really cute. And then I had my campsite there as well, and then I also laid down the lake in there. I just want to continue the green space on the right hand side, so that it looks pretty. And then on the top, I put down the Windsor home, which is a reward items from the wedding season special event. I'm also working toward the last reward, which is the Windsor Castle. I will actually send out in the videos to show up the rewards items from this wedding event. And as your city grow in the design challenge, you might need to put in more service buildings like sewage, waste management, water, electricity. So I actually put out space in the corner so that I don't have to find new space for those items, for those buildings. And last but not least, I'm moving the Cologne Dome from my capital city and then place it down in my design challenge. And that is the last thing that I put down, I think. And that's pretty much it. That is the layout of the city. It's not hard at all. It's just the hardest part I found in doing the design challenge is to make all your materials to upgrade your buildings in your design challenge. So that part is a little bit the hardest. Oh, I forgot. I also have grabbed some beach items to put it down here. And just to match the theme, I try to find these beach items to have as much green on them. So I have this little beach delta. And the thing that I love about this beach delta is I can open up the water so that it feels like the water is flowing out from the lake to the ocean. I will mention it one more time when it comes to that. And I also put down the yard house, the pebble rock cliff, and the beach waterfall, and then also my paradise beach building. I think all these are really relaxing, really green beach items. That's why I use that. I use them for this design challenge. And I usually do is just lay down all these items that I want to put in my cities, and then I will do some touch up, do some adjustment to see how it goes. So right now, in order to make the lake water flowing to the beach delta, I need to kind of like extend my pond a little bit, extend my water a little bit. So I have to like redo that row and then put the bridge across it, so that if you look down a little bit, it will, and then I could put the trees back, and then the water is like kind of like flowing to the beach. Right now I have to do a little bit adjusting on the trees. The one uh, key that I found about the putting a big amount of area into forest is you want a variety of trees. You just don't want one kind of trees. So what I'm doing here is kind of like just adjusting it so that it looks more natural, more real, and more pretty. I found that really helpful. So this is actually 5 hours later as I upgrading more of the residential buildings. I didn't do much since then other than just keep upgrading those buildings and then like getting those materials. And on the lake, I usually like to put down the boat on there. It's just such a masterpiece and everybody love that boat effect on there. So I usually lay down the boat even though it doesn't really make sense. That boat cannot even cross the bridge, but it's just cute to put in there. I was actually thinking about putting down two, but after the second thought, I thought that it would be too crowded, so I took out one and then do some little touch up. Put more park, just like using all the space. I do not like empty space, so if there's an empty space, I would just like put a park in there in my little industry area. And what I'm doing here is just upgrading the residential buildings. Usually I don't, it doesn't necessary to upgrade them all to the higher level, because right now, even though this building is not fully upgraded, I already got 23,000 populations, and that population is enough for me to get the bonus point, so I should be good. And I usually just like organize the residential building to make it more organized. Just like the same tile buildings, put it in one place. I like that personally. I like that. Some people don't like that because they want more variety, but I want the city to look more organized. Even though they're not fully organized, it's a mistake. I should not organize it so early. I should have to wait until they're fully upgraded. Yeah, I wasn't sure, but at that moment, I wasn't sure if I should upgrade more of them or should I just leave it as it, because 21,000 population is good enough for me. But I think then it pop up, and then the upgrade pop up, and then I just upgrade them because they are ready. They have all the materials, so I just keep upgrading them. And to upgrade these residential buildings takes a lot of your materials. So I usually don't recommend to build more than 10 residential buildings in your design challenge unless you really want to, because it just sucks up all your materials to do this design challenge. It's not worth it, because once the design challenge over, you don't have this building in your regular cities, so it doesn't really matter to upgrade them. But as you can see, I just right now just like organize this little bit so that it look more pretty. And I go back to my Frosty Fjords to grab more items for it, and then I'm also like building more items. It suck up all your materials. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, and then once I upgraded, I was a little bit worried that if I upgrade this buildings to the fully upgrade, it might block some of my views. But when I was thinking about it, I was already too late, because this upgrade pop up just like keep popping up. So I just like upgrade them all, and then I decided I'm gonna stop there. Once all these residential buildings are fully upgraded, I'm gonna just stop there. But as you can see, once you get to the highest level, your population is gonna boost. Your population is gonna go up so much. And I was just like looking up my campsite and then put it back, because I don't have any room to move these buildings around, so I have to like put them back in my storage and wait for them to upgrade. So right now the city is pretty much done. Just wait for these residential buildings to upgrade. And as you can see, once they upgraded, they are really tall. They're not the tallest, but they're still like blocking my Windsor Park at the end. Now I think about it, maybe it's better to have them like half upgrade so that it won't block out too much of my view of the back. But one thing good is I was thinking if I have this residential all upgraded, I can block my my this industrial, my water pump, this like managed service items to block them, but it doesn't work out that well. The angle doesn't work out that well. It's too far away, so it didn't block it out. But I guess that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the end of this design challenge. Hope you enjoyed this video. How are you doing on this design challenge? Are you submitting your city? And last but not least, don't forget to submit your design to in SimCity. One time I built a SimCity, I built a design challenge, and I forgot to upload it, and then everything's go in vain. So don't forget to do that. Hope you enjoyed these videos. If you are also doing your design challenge, let me know how you're doing here. But I can tell you that it is a guarantee 4.5 star design challenge, and I'm really proud of it. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching until now, you're a hero to me. Thank you so much. I promise you I will make these channels better. Until next time, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.